Hey everyone, how's it going? MJ here. Got a little mood lighting going on. Yeah. This is my, there you go. And it looks like my, never mind. All right, how's everybody doing? All right. So, I haven't been on for a couple of days. I've been feeling pretty bad. I had actually hurt my back. And because I hurt my back, I wasn't really up to live streaming. Let me just check this out because I got this plugged in. Yeah, okay, it's charging, okay. My receiver, my wireless mic receiver, I just want to make sure that it's actually charging because it had a ran out of battery. So what's this over here? Hey, Dean, how's it going? All right, good to see you. New retreat in Sydney. Oh, studio. Oh, I see. Okay, this is an autocorrect disaster. I see. Yeah, I got a light down here. See, if I cover the light, you can't see anything. But I don't want it like. Here's the thing: if I take the filter off, it's totally like. So what I've got is an orange, a light orange, and kind of a dark red. But I put them together, and I have a bunch of these filters, and I could actually like put a green filter in there and pull it down some more. Maybe I should just do that. All right, but good to see you guys. Good to see you, Dean. And actually, I don't see. Oh, here they are. I'm gonna say I don't see where my filters are. So, all right. This is. It's hard to see because the light's red. Let me put this blue one in here. Okay. Is that no? That's 0, and that's I guess it's 2. I guess that's a little too much. Okay. So we'll take that out. Actually, I can see better. See, this is that's just the green. That looks really creepy. Really creepy. It's interesting because there are clear and frosted. I don't know if you can see the difference. But this is like a green frosted, that's blue. And then they have like a yellow. Let me just put I'll tell you what, they got 2 kinds of orange and a red. Let me just put these together. And I'll put these on here. And there you go, that'll be it, that's good. This has nothing to do with Halloween because I hate Halloween. Sorry, I'm just not into a holiday to worship the devil and stuff, so. But if that's your thing, go for it, but it's just not my thing. And my, gosh, my battery bank is not charging. This is really strange. I want to check this again. It's acting weird. It's acting like it's not charging it. Hold on. All right, anyway. I don't know what to tell you. But these things last a long time. So the problem is I don't charge them every day because every time I use them because they last for 7 hours. But it's been a couple of weeks since I was on. All right, I want to show you guys something. So, I've been flying my drone, and I really enjoy flying my drone. But I never knew this, but back this way, if you fly from my house, straight back behind Jarjar and Mr. Wu's, right back this direction, there's a big housing complex, and then you take a slight, well, you just go behind the housing complex, and there's bunch of gardens there, and it's just ordinary people. Ordinary people are just using the gardens to grow vegetables and stuff. And it's normally when that happens, it's government land, and it's not like even like, it's not their land. They're just, you know, like borrowing it because nobody's using it, which is very common. You see that a lot in Taiwan, places that are undeveloped. But this, as you guys have seen a million times from me walking around the neighborhood and talking with people and even just pictures and so forth, this is a very, very densely populated neighborhood. And it's a densely populated area anyway, not just the neighborhood. But Taiwan is known for being densely populated. But there are, now I'm terrible at acres, but there's a place back there that's got to be like maybe a half a square kilometer. There's no houses on it. It's just, it's bizarre how it's completely just undeveloped. And I discovered it flying my drone. I didn't know it. Never saw it before because you can't see from the road. You can't see it from the road at all. After I discovered it, I went driving around in my car, and I went all the way around it, and you can't see into it because there's buildings or the road there and stuff. So my shirt label seems backwards. The label? Well, I think this is the wireless mic, but I'm not sure what you mean. I don't know. This guy? Fit links? Let me see. Yeah, what's going on? Front-facing camera. Yeah. Wow, you're absolutely right. I don't know how that happened. But Prism is known for its, you know, what you see is what you get. So, thanks, bro. I appreciate it, man. That was a good call. I didn't notice that. Okay, this is not working. My I'm gonna try, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm discombobulated. I'm gonna try. This is a USB-C to USB-C. I'm gonna try a USB-A to USB-C and see if this will charge the receiver, because I don't want the receiver to run out of battery. Come on, get in there. Nah, now it's charging. Now it's charging. Sometimes USB-C can be problematic. So you saw this with me standing up, and that's why you said that. Okay, good. All right, good. We're good to go. Because I got plenty on this. I got like, according to this battery, yeah, I got like another 2 or 3 hours. Make sure I don't turn the thing off while I'm flipping it back on. Okay, so anyway, the story is, right, that I am flying my drone and I see this odd place, and it seemed like there was a house there that had like no roof. It was just weird, like a wreck. And I looked on Google Maps and, you know, the satellite image. And for those of you who care about looking at the YouTube thumbnail, I got a picture of the thumbnail. So, okay, thanks. So yeah, so I looked at it on Google Earth, and it just looked so weird. So I went one day down the street near it. There's a parking lot actually very close to it. And I popped the drone up over and looked at it, and sure enough, it's a busted up house. It looks really creepy because it's a traditional style Chinese house with three walls. I mean, or 3 sides. These houses have like have 2 halls and a central hall. They're all shaped like three sides, and then the open side will have a gate. And so the other day I did a recon mission from my house because it's only direct line. It's only about 350 meters, but I have to go up because my house is 17. Where my drone takes off the top of my house is 17 meters above local terrain. And so I'm limited to 60 meters above local terrain. So the highest I can go from my house, obviously, you know, I have to compensate. It's 43 meters. So anyway, but I've been to the other place, so I know how high the trees are. So I just flew there and went down and took some video. But what I'd like to do is show you some videos that I made, because I like to do dramatic stuff and I like to play around with my editing software. And I got a new video card the other day, which is great because it helps me for video editing. But I wanted to do, see, I don't believe in ghosts and stuff like that, and but some things are creepy when you see them. They just look creepy. And from the air, the house looked kind of creepy. And I shot this during the day. But what I did was I edited a day for night video. That's where you shoot stuff in the daytime and you edit it to make it look like night. Now it's not quite night, it looks like twilight. But I want you to understand too that the drone doesn't record audio, because all you'd hear is, you know, I mean, okay. So the audio that I put in the video, because I'm an audio guy, I'm an audio engineer, I have an extensive collection of sound effects and so forth. So all the sound that you hear in the video is sound effects. It's fake. So let me do this. I want to play this for you. I made a trailer called The Creepy House. And let me play you that. But then I want to play you a clip that I did of the recon mission. And then I want to tell you what happened next. So let me turn my mic off because I don't want the noise, the interference from the mic to, you know, to detract from the video. So here we go. This is the trailer for The Creepy House. So is that corny or what? That was funny, huh? All right, let me get rid of this thing here. That was, anyway, that was my attempt at doing something kind of funny. So I'll leave the mic on and I'll show you the reconnaissance mission that I did. Because what I wanted to, I realized after I flew around it and took some pictures and took some video, that I needed more information about this place. I don't know what it is. And it's kind of unusual. Now what I did was, there's absolutely nothing like spooky about it or anything, but I just wanted to see what I could do, because I like to play around, and it's always a learning experience. I'm always learning how to edit, you know, and it doesn't matter how advanced you are or whatnot. You do stuff sometimes just for fun and to be silly. That is, if you enjoy your life at all, that's what you do. Excuse me. So, let me show you the recon mission. And my video editing software comes with innocuous music, and I decided to add, against my better judgment, some innocuous music. But I'll go ahead and leave the mic on, because I do want to kind of narrate a little bit some of this, okay? So I'm going to show you the recon mission and talk about it. And what I do sometimes is, when I collect video clips, I'll sometimes put them together in a clip just for my own use. It may sound like a lot of work, but I have the time and it helps me to organize things. And I'll put slides on it, you know, like on this particular movie or clip that I'm going to show you, I actually wrote about what I think it is. And so you'll see that at the beginning. So this is the recon mission footage that I shot. And that's really true. It may predate the ROC. And I did do a ground level survey. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. So here I am, taking off from my house. Now you see how dense my neighborhood is. And this is probably the first time I think I've actually shown my neighborhood from the air. So I'm basically flying east-northeast. And by the way, those big water tanks, that's how we have water pressure in Taiwan. Now, we're going to see two iconic places. Over on the left, at the very bottom, is where I'm sitting right now at the Jarjar store, see? And that's Win-Win's down the bottom. Now, directly behind Win-Win's, on the bottom, the ground floor, is Mr. Wu's barbecue. That's it right there. So we're going straight ahead. My drone has obstacle avoidance, so I really don't have to worry too much about it. But obviously I could see this part of the elevator tower coming up, so I just, you know, scooted up. And so I think I'm probably, I don't know, probably 20 some meters above my house. And I just highlighted where we're going. Now that's that little apartment complex you see on the left, the kind of a bridge across the top, kind of bizarre. So I'm taking a right with a drone, and now this is a concrete canyon. It's only 300 some meters away yet, but I'm going to descend down into the field. And since I did so much reconnaissance before, I know how high the trees are. I can go down to probably 15 meters. I kept it around 17 meters, and it looks like I'm going to crash into trees, but nah, I'm nowhere near it. But you see this house. See it in front of me here. I'm flying over to it. Sorry about this music. I should probably turn the music down. I fly right over to it, and there it is. Now, this is all like gardens and stuff, see? And you can see how dense it is, but there's a trail there. Now that's the house, and there's a bunch of banana trees around it, and bamboo. So I'm going to do a circular flight around it. And you can see the walls there are crumbled. And you can see how the roof has collapsed. And coming into view on the other side of this tree will be the front gate of the. Right there you can see the two columns, and you can see that the wall is split, there's a gate. But this is in the middle of like this monster field, and it's all just, you know, people out there gardening. I zoomed in, you can see it has obviously three sides. The broken down area that you see is the right side. It's kind of like a U shape. And then the left side across from it is actually not so broken, but it's uninhabitable for sure. So I zoomed out. Now I notice there's a car on the left, kind of a road. So what I decided to do, now this is all from my house, like 350 meters away. And this is a recon mission. I'm not trying to get cinematic, usable footage. That's why I said that at the beginning. There probably isn't anything useful. I'm just trying to find out where the heck I am. Now the thing is, you'll see a main road out at the end. See that main road out there? Just this side of the main road is the beginning of the no-fly zone, because across the street is a military base. I have to be careful. If I go too far, I can intrude on the military base. They could shoot me down. I could be fine. But that little road there goes down to the main road, and so I know where I'm going, so I just fly down a certain amount and I stop because I don't need to go any further. What I'm looking for is where the entrance to that road is, because what I want to do is I want to park my car across the street. See where those cars are parked over there? I want to come back someday, park my car, turn around and walk, and there is like a little chain across that. That's the military base. Now, it's legal to film a military base from anywhere you can legally be on civilian grounds. That's okay. And the reason I know is because I asked the military. Now, that thing on the right, that little square thing on the right, is some kind of weird device. I didn't check it out, but it looks like a wind detector. So this is just recon footage. I'm just looking to see. Oh, and by the way, you see how windy it is? And this mini 3-Pro DJI drone is so incredibly stable. And so I'm looking around to where the other buildings are and so forth. And there may be a trail from the other side, but I don't think so. So I'm just trying to figure out, you know, like, and there it is. And so now I'm raising altitude, going up higher, and I'm aiming the camera down. Flying a drone, it's pretty interesting because you have to manage, you know, a number of things, like the camera angle, and you know, you got to fly the drone and manage the camera too. And so then I just fly back. But you can see the, you know, you can see how it's just so it's just so rural, but this is in the middle. This is in Huco, man. I mean, I can't believe there's such a big piece of undeveloped land. I wish I could get my hands on some of that land. So, what I did today is Thursday. On Tuesday, I decided to drive over there and see what this thing was like. And, you know, no matter how you look at it from the air, when you're on the ground, of course, obviously things are different. Now, I have a lot of field experience in mapping GIS with GPS, doing field surveys as a broadcast engineer. I got a ton of experience, field experience. It's funny, I keep seeing people pop in on Facebook and they're going, "Oh, it's an old dude," and they leave, so whatever. But no matter how, see, I didn't have a map. All I had was the memory of what it looked like. I mean, I didn't print any pictures from the video or anything. I knew there was that road down there, but I sure didn't know how to get in to the house. And so I walked down that road, and here's what happened. I'm just going to start showing you pictures. So I went and I parked. And so these are some of that is a picture that kind of shows in the background a little bit of the wall of the house, but you really can't tell. And so as I'm walking down this trail, I'm seeing all these little structures like this. That's pretty interesting. I mean, I think this stuff is interesting. I see, like, you know, there's bananas and stuff, and there's these little, like, there's a little shack here that in the afternoon, you know, whoever it is doing the garden is relaxing. This is some retired person, obviously, you know, and anyway, so there were a couple of interesting trails, and this trail here in particular, I didn't realize at the time. See the rocks, the piled rocks on the left? Basically, you step over where the rocks are, you walk over to the right, and you take a left, you go through there. I couldn't really see where it went. I didn't realize at the time but this is part of the trail that leads to the creepy house. But I didn't know it. So it's just a ground recon mission. So I don't expect anything. But here's the thing. Come on. You see that little blue bucket, kind of off to the left of center and down a little bit. There's like a blue bucket, and there's a path right next to that. You can see how grown this is. I mean, Taiwan. People don't understand, man. Taiwan is a place where, like, the driveway where I park my car, sometimes dirt will blow from the wind into the corner, and a seed will take root there and grow. And on the back of my house, on like the asphalt pavement beside my carport, there's some dirt that's built up, and there are weeds and stuff that are growing, and they root into this dirt, but it's on blacktop. I mean, stuff grows here like crazy, like it's unbelievable. So this is really overgrown stuff. And so I see this trail, and I decide to walk down it. Now the trail is basically, you guys saw where that car was parked in the reconnaissance video. When I went on Tuesday, the car was parked in the same place. So I'm basically behind the car, between the road. Hey, Matthew, fist bump to you. I'm behind the car, between the car and the road. So here I am, and I got like my first glimpse through this brush of a wall and a window. And it's overexposed because I exposed on the wall, and not the foliage. And so the other thing is this, here, let me do this. This place is in like a bamboo grove. And this is kind of a shot far over to the left. I just found another little trail to walk over to the left. But I want to show you some other detailed pictures. Like this one is, these are old style iron bars, like from 100 years ago. And those are those old curved roof tiles. Sometimes you'll see martial arts demonstrations where they show like, Asian masters breaking roof tiles. That's the kind of roof tiles that they're breaking. All right, so let me do this. Yeah, see, these are the roof tiles here. And the rafters and all that are all broken. And I'll get into this in a minute, but well, actually, let me talk about it now, because I took a bunch of 360 photos. I'll put them in the late night line group later. But a lot of these beams are, hey Mike, welcome to the show, man. Fist bump, thanks for joining. The beams are basically rough hewn, and the construction is post and beam, with pegs. I'm sure they have some nails. But there's a complete lack of electrical wiring in the house. There's an outlet in the entire house, except where they have brought wires in to go over to like a room air conditioner. So I believe that this building is Qing Dynasty because it fits. It fits all of the earmarks of it. So anyway, this is a kind of an overview shot of the whole thing. Broken roof tiles, the whole thing. So, of course, I was thinking, I hope I don't step on any snakes, but this is still pretty much urban area. I've only ever heard of snakes really like in super rural places in the mountains. My friend Andreas got bit by got bit by a Chinese cobra. Oh, no, or was it? No, I guess he got bit by a bamboo snake. I forget which one, but yeah. Anyway, up in the mountains. Okay, so let me go down here and go to the next one. So, come on. So now I'm getting over towards the end of it, right? And I don't know why that doesn't full screen like that. I'm going to walk around to the left. Now there's no trail here. And so the only thing I didn't bring a walking stick or anything like that. Now, we do have a kind of a stray dog problem in Taiwan, and the whole time I was like coughing. I was like and making noise. Now I got a cough. Yeah, now I got a cough. Because I was trying to make sure that if there were any dogs around, they heard me and they would come running out. Then I could just be nice and friendly and everything would be cool, but I didn't want to surprise them. So as I was walking around the side, then I ran into, okay, this is another, this is another overview of the side of it, okay. So these are a little bit kind of out of order, sorry. And let me see what this one is. Oh yeah, okay, that's, geez, these are out of order. This is one of the ones that was from like the, you know, that I took from the trail, right? When I'm walking up to this thing, it just looks, this is broad daylight and it looks creepy. All right, so, sorry. I gotta wait for this to settle and then I'm gonna go back to the studio. Okay, and now, as I walk around the side, I'm beginning to see how really like broken down this thing is. And it's interesting because these are like half walls. It may be that this part of the building was open to the back, like a garden. You see what I'm saying? If you look, you know, over to the right, you see the window, and there's a room, but there's a half wall. You see how nice that half wall is? That's not broken. And then in front of it is another half wall at a 90 degrees. That's not broken either. That's still surfaced on the top. It was built that way. So I'm thinking, of course, at the time, I didn't have enough. Wasn't really trying to analyze it at the time because it was kind of, I just wanted to document this place and just get the heck out of here, actually, because I wasn't sure if I was on private property or what the case was, but I wasn't thinking about it too much. Anyway, so then I got my first glimpse kind of inside and saw, wow, this place is really dilapidated. I didn't dare go inside of it. Part of the problem, too, is in Taiwan, you never know when there's going to be an earthquake. And as ridiculous as that sounds, you guys know that just last month, we had a series of earthquakes over an entire weekend. We had over 150 earthquakes, and they knocked down bridges and schools and all kinds of stuff. So when you live in a country like Taiwan that's so, you know, geologically active, when you're in an old building like this, you think about stuff like that. Yeah, sure, the probability is like astronomical, but it happens to somebody. But I didn't go in. And then this is another shot to the left of that. And this thing has been here for a long time. But there's a nice column there, and it still looks pretty good. But I still say some of these rooms look like they were open to the back, like to a garden. This may have actually been a very well manicured garden. I don't know. Really don't know. Okay, so as I rounded the corner, now you guys remember from the aerial video, you can see in the distance on this picture, you can see the walls there. And they're broken. You see how they're like triangular shaped? That would match the pitch of the roof. The roof is not there. And there's this gate. And so finally I'm at the front of this house and I walk over to the gate. And so I go up to the gate and I start taking pictures of the inside of it. And that's what it looks like. Of course, it's overgrown. As far as I can tell, it was concrete. But there was some kind of a structure. I say strange only just because I don't know what it is. There was some kind of a structure in front of the walls on the left here. I'm not sure if I have much detail on that. I'll see if I can show you here. But let's see. Yeah. You see what I mean? You see like there's a concrete footer for the wall, and it's got brick on top of it. But there's a bunch of bricks and stuff that are on the ground in front of them. Now that may have come from the wall itself, or it may have come from an additional structure. I don't think I have a clear photo of it, but let me do this. Let me just do this. Do you see, let me go over here. Do you see this round thing right there in the center, sort of the center? I was analyzing the photos later, and there's a hole in that. You can't see it. It looks like a millstone. What it looks like a foundation stone where they put some kind of a pipe or a tube in the center of it to use it to do some kind of work, but I don't know what it would be. I don't know what the function is, but anyway, that is what that was. And anyway, so the last thing is I just really wanted to know what kind of place this was, and then I sort of got a clue from here. Now, this right here tells me a couple of things. The Chinese written over the door. Let's talk about this for a second. In the early era of the ROC, they wrote Chinese from right to left, like Hebrew or some other languages. It's funny because modern Chinese, wow, there's cops running around the block. They've been around the block 2 or 3 times here. You guys can't see because I'm showing these photos. Anyway, modern Chinese is read from left to right, like English. And if it is in old style script, it's written vertically, and then it's read from right to left. So top to bottom, right to left. But now this is this is horizontal Chinese, but it's not read left to right. It's read, hey, J-boy, fist bump. Yeah, this is read right to left. That first word is nan, and phonetically spelled N-A-N, and that's the word for south. Nan. The second word is Yang, and that is a famous surname in Chinese, Y-A-N-G. See it a lot. People say Yang, but it's Yang, and it's second tone. Now, that also has a meaning because it's part of the word for sun, like Taiyang. But it also has a meaning in Taoist religion. And Taoist religion, that would be like a masculine form of energy. And then the third word on the far left is Tang, T-A-N-G, and that means hall, like meeting hall. So that is the South Yang Hall, or the Nanyang Hall, or the Nanyang Tan. And this doesn't look like a house to me. It could be. sometimes a prominent family, their house would be called a hall. Just like we would say a rich person might have a mansion, you might not refer to their house as just a house. It might be a compound, it might be a mansion. So in some cases, some prominent families might have a tang, a hall. It's hard for me to tell. I didn't see any other indications of anything Taoist, but I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I think that it was just a rich family. Now, if you look to the right and to the left of the doorway, there are the usual placards, and the inscription is I can't even read it. It's old. It's all faded. There's only, in this photo I can't read anything anyway, but I remember looking at it and there was like one word or something on each one. So it's entirely possible that this is either some kind of a Taoist hallway meeting place, but I kind of don't think so, because I did go up to it in the rooms, and I used my selfie stick and I used my Insta360 1X2, and I took 360 photos of each one of the rooms. I saw no altars, I saw no candles, I saw no icons, no deities or anything. So I think this is just a rich family house. But the nan is, the one on the right is pretty interesting, because I don't really understand what Nanyang means. Nanyang itself, like South Yang, doesn't really mean anything that I'm aware of in Chinese. Of course, I'm a foreigner, and my knowledge of Chinese isn't perfect. But I did do a little bit of research into the background of these words, just to make sure that I would understand the combination of them. And as far as I can understand, this kind of looks like maybe these guys had more than one house. Maybe they had a house in Taipei, and that would be like the, Bay, the north, Bay Yang Tang. They might have had some place in East Taiwan. It would have been the Dong Yang Tang. Who knows? But anyway, I had a blast just exploring this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 360 photos in the Line group that my followers enjoy on the Line app. I think what I'm going to do, though, is because I have a blog, and I haven't updated my blog. I've had a blog since 2003, but it kind of fell into disuse. That's another story. I'll tell you, basically what happened was I had been traveling since way before YouTube and vlogging and all that was a thing. I've been to all these countries. And then, I got married and I settled down in Taiwan, and all of a sudden, boom, they got YouTube, and they got all these people that, think they're jet setters and doing all this stuff. And I've already done all of that. But nobody knows it because they don't read my blog. I've got 30,000 photos on my blog, but I quit updating it a long time ago. And so I don't feel like going back and doing some kind of an update, on a blog, because nobody reads it anymore. It's fallen into disuse. I keep it there for historical purposes. But I think I might do a little write-up on Facebook and talk about this. But I'm going to have to do some more research to find out something about it. But I'm not strongly motivated to do it. I'm really busy because I'm working on actually several people's records. Clay Jewell asked me to sing on one of his songs, and I'm working on that now in my studio. And I'm just about, I am this close to releasing my next single. My last single was in 1997. And really close. And I'm doing, Robert Monahan just released a new single that I produced. mixed and mastered, and he's given me another piece of music that was 30 some years old, and I've had to restore it, audio restored. I'm going to get him to do the vocals again. I'm going to drop them in. So I'm really busy doing this other stuff, and I don't, really productive music stuff, which I love. It's what I do as a longtime producer, but I'm not so motivated, to look at this. However, I will say that my township here at Hukou, the government did this massive mapping in CIS and GIS project, and they have all kinds of data, mapping data on the Hukou Township, and they sent everybody a DVD, and they sent me one. And I looked at it. It's all data files. There's no image files you can look at, but I know what the data files are from my background. So I need to go look at those data files for the relevant area over here and see if they mentioned that place and talk about it and see what it is. But it'd be interesting to see. But there's a lot of stuff like that around here. People don't understand that how interesting and fascinating Taiwan really is. See, where I live is the industrial park, and I showed you guys the video a few minutes ago of me flying my drone. There must be 500 companies in 10 square kilometers here, and some of them are huge, like Giga Storage and Rytech, the CD and DVD company, the spinners. Chip Bond is down here. We got semiconductors. We got beer companies down here. There's Panasonic, Mitsubishi Elevator, Formosa Plastics. There's everybody you can think of is here, right? But then there's this big field that's undeveloped. But you'll go down to the end of the hill beside the military base and take a right, and you're in rice fields, as far as you can see. I mean, it's urban, and then it immediately falls off and it's rural. It's amazing. I had a Japanese lady friend of mine visit Taiwan, and I took her on a scooter. And we were in Dashi, and I took a corner to, I was taking her to downtown Dashi, and she said, stop, stop, stop. And I said, okay. I said, what's wrong? And she's going like this, she's emotional. I said, I haven't seen green rice fields like this since I was a little kid. She's from Osaka. So, big city. And I said, we got rice fields all over. But she didn't expect, see, we're on Jaisao Road, in Dashi, which is one of the most densely populated areas. And literally 100 meters off the side of the road, it's farmland. And that's how it is here. So I really like that. I like the fact that it's very interesting, and I'm going to use a politically charged phrase, it's diverse. But here's the thing. Right over here, not far away, near, you guys, I've done the Emin Temple. You've seen me live stream that. I've done it at Hago. In that area, which is about maybe literally 10 to 15 minutes from my house, there are all kinds of broken down buildings from the Qing Dynasty. And there are a number of those three-sided houses. I would love to get one of those. I'd love to get one of those three-sided Chinese houses and redo the outside completely traditional, but gut the inside and make it like Star Trek level, like modern, with a recording studio on one end and a gym and a living space and stuff. That's kind of my dream. I'll do it. I'll get there. But a lot of those three-sided houses and a lot of those really old pre-ROC, because the ROC was founded in 1911. And before that, it was Qing Dynasty. So you don't have to go back that far. Qing, people talk about Qing Dynasty, they think it was ancient. No, it's not ancient. It's just, it's old, but right over here in the Hukou Laojie, the Hukou Old Streets, the whole darn street is Qing Dynasty. So yeah, this stuff exists here. So For those of you who just joined, at the beginning of this live stream, I played a reconnaissance mission that I had done with my drone, and I put together a couple clips into a movie, which I do. I do that for organizing my own stuff. I'll take all the clips and put them into a project and put them into a long timeline, and I'll edit some of the junk out, like the intermediate stuff where I'm adjusting my camera and stuff, just so I get kind of the meat of the clips. And that's what I did. And unfortunately, I guess I put some innocuous music on, and I probably shouldn't have. But yeah, so check that out at the beginning of the live stream if you're so inclined to do so. But that was pretty much what I wanted to tell you guys tonight about what I did with the creepy house. And funny thing is it's really not all that creepy. I mean, once you know what it is, it's just, it looks creepy because it's in a bamboo grove and it's hard to get into. Now, when I went around the dense side through the bamboo section and found all the broken walls on the back, and I went around and I went into the courtyard in the front, as I was leaving, I didn't go back that way. If you're looking at the last photograph that I showed you that showed the name over the door, I had come in from the left. If you're looking at, at that perspective, I went out to the right and I saw that there was a trail that went out basically to where I had walked before from the other direction, but I didn't realize that they connected. And so that's when I made the connection. So now anybody who wants to go see the creepy house, I can just walk straight there, and it's actually very easy. What I would really like to do is I'd really like to take some gear there and kind of sweep it and clean it up. So yeah, but MJ don't do Halloween. But yeah, absolutely. But I'll tell you what it would be good for. A Steve Wallace kind of camping with Steve kind of stealth thing. But again, see, I don't know if it's private property. I mean, there's so many people here in Taiwan. I personally know at least, I know three different families named Yang. And so who knows? Somebody still owns that. But a lot of people own this land and they let the buildings just crumble because they don't care, but they own the land. But of course, I wouldn't do anything to deface it. I certainly would go inside, but I wouldn't mind taking like a broom and sweeping some of the debris out of the way and just going there and camping. But I don't know how people would feel about, making a fire and cooking with a Dutch oven. They came there, see MJ with a bush hat and a tripod and a Dutch oven hanging over a fire. They might freak out. It's cowboy food. I have to say, hey, 是牛仔菜, to tell them it's cowboy food. So, but anyway, but that would make an interesting night of camping. But I gotta tell you, that'd be the time when I would like to have a dog. Just have the dog hang out with you, because you don't know, who might come down there or whatnot. Probably nobody, because like I said, it's mostly people with gardens, But the thing is there's a place that I documented, and I did. I'm pretty sure, almost 100% sure, that I did document this place on my blog. My wife's mother and father used to own an apartment. They sold it. And behind the apartment was a vast area that was undeveloped, and it was all people who were gardening. But actually, it was ex-military property, and it had like bunkers and stuff on it. And I walked through there one day with my camera. I took like 1,000 photos. And a couple of times I heard voices coming out of the bunkers. There were people in there. So I think they were using it for a shooting gallery. And I don't mean this kind. I mean this kind. And so my wife told me, she said, oh, you should be careful going down there and stuff. I said, nah, I'm a foreigner. See, they're going to see me and think I'm dumb and I don't know what's going on. But a lot of gardening and just interesting things and interesting graffiti and just really, really interesting buildings and stuff from a bygone era. Now it's all gone. So somebody bought the land. They bulldozed all those, all the structures and dug up all the gardens, and now it's like a big high rise. But sometimes people, all I'm saying is sometimes people look for abandoned buildings or abandoned places to do weird stuff. There was a development. They call them the UFO houses. And if you look this up on the internet, I even have an article about it on my blog. But the UFO houses in Taiwan, there were two developments. But there's a small one. There's a really big one. The big one is the one I went to. It was right on the ocean, and they were actually round and dome shaped, with windows around it. They look like, I guess, an artist's conception of a UFO. They were pretty amazing. And there was a swimming pool complex in the middle of it. It was really close to the ocean. The ocean battered it and beat it. But even when I went there to photograph it, I went there with my wife, and I went there with Craig Ferguson, a famous Taiwan photographer who has just returned to Australia. And even when I was there were people inside some of those abandoned buildings doing photo shoots. Now, they weren't doing anything bad. They were just doing like Instagram kind of photos. But I mean, yeah. So if I were to go camping over there, I have no idea how the local people would react to it. I have no idea if somebody would show up later in the night wanting to do something away from scrutiny of, who knows, just who knows. And I can't pack here. Whenever we went camping in New Hampshire, we always packed, so we didn't have to worry about anything. So even if you see a bear, just fire a shot in the air. Although every time I saw a bear, I never actually had to fire a shot, but we had the option. The bears are pretty cool. Just go, yo bear, and they look at you and they walk away. So anyway, I have a funny story about that actually. And one rule of thumb too is, because I like to drink. I don't like to get drunk, but I like to drink. And drinking even moderate amounts can change your opinion and viewpoint of things, right? But when we were camping, we always had a rule. Once we started drinking, we would disassemble our firearms and we would lock them in the glove box. And the theory being that if somebody got really mad and they decided that, hey, I'm going to kill you, they couldn't get the gun out and they couldn't put it together because they would be drunk. So anyway, but we were camping and had our guitars. We were camping with some probably about 7 or 8 people, men and women, all friends. Some were couples and some weren't. And anyway, just a bunch of friends. And we were cooking Dutch ovens, and Colby was there. And Colby, of course, he was an internationally renowned Dutch oven chef. But we were sitting around the fire, and I was playing guitar and stuff. And we heard this unmistakable sound, like twigs breaking and from heavy footfalls, that real sound, And the ladies were like, hey, what's that? And so the men were always playing it down. It's nothing. We'll go take a look. Now, back in those days, we didn't really have the LED flashlights. I have LED flashlights here in Taiwan, and I started getting those back in like 2004 and 2006. These incredibly, machined aluminum LED flashlights that, you could probably bounce off of Mars are incredible. We didn't have any of that back at the time I'm talking about. I'm talking about like 1999 and 2000. But I used to carry a mag light with me, and I carried it in the holster. You know, the mag light was the little aluminum, you know, flashlight. It had an incandescent bulb, but it was actually quite rugged. I mean, you could break it, but it was pretty rugged, and it was an adjustable beam. And that's, you know, that's all we had back then. And so I had my mag light, and we heard the, you know, heard this snapping of twigs. So the lady's like, hey, you know, they were getting kind of scared. So, all right, well, okay. So me and Chris and Colby went out, and we walked over to where we heard, you know, the snapping sound, and it was pitch black. I mean, really. Woods, I mean, they call them the White Mountains, but at night it's the Black Forest. Okay, so I got my little mag light, and I'm trying to focus it, and we hear, and I'm focusing, and we saw something kind of red, really strange, like, you know, something like a, I don't know how to describe it, something like, you know, this kind of wiggly, you know. We're like, what in the heck is that? We're thinking, what is this, an alien something? And then we saw something white and gleaming. And the pink thing was going across the white gleaming stuff, and we realized that what we're looking at was the tongue of a bear licking across its white teeth. That was an interesting revelation. And with a mag light, you can imagine, you know, the distance. Yeah, we just said, yeah, we need to walk back. And so we walked back, but what we did was when we walked, we made sure the bear heard us, but we're walking away. And they're smart. They can tell people walking towards them. So they knew we were walking away, but we weren't running because you don't want to act like prey or anything. And we got back to the fire, and the lady said, what was it? We said, no, it was nothing. We didn't tell them, but we threw a couple extra logs on the fire to make it extra bright and extra fiery, because animals generally don't like that. That will keep animals away pretty much more than anything else. All right, so we have not had many comments, but I think it's because people are listening. But all right, I want to thank everybody for joining. Sorry I haven't been on, but I've had back problems. I'm not wearing my back brace today. I actually bought a new back brace. I've been wearing it for over a week. I wore it all day yesterday, you know, and for weeks and weeks. I mean, for the whole week, days and days. Well, the cops are out here again. But I took it off today. When I get back home, I'm going to put it on for about an hour and just kind of compress, and it helps. I've been taking muscle relaxants and so forth. And I have been having trouble with the dizziness too, which is another reason that I haven't been on. But I'm trying a new medicine. It seems to be working. But for some reason, also, it seems to be going away. Doctor suggested that I have a carotid artery sonography, which they did. And of course, it was fine. I told him, I could have told you that. He said, yeah, some just very minor, tiny little issues with plaque. I said, yeah, like everybody else. And he said, yeah, exactly. So I don't know what's going on. I might have to do the Epley maneuver and try to position the crystals back in my head, because I had dizziness about 3 or 4 years ago. I forget. And it lasted a couple of weeks, and then one day it just went away. And so today I was walking around and I didn't feel dizzy, but yesterday I did. So I don't get it. I don't know why, but I, like a lot of men, don't have time for a lot of this stuff. So I just do what I got to do, and just get on with it. So anyway, for those of you who are interested, if you look on SoundCloud, Phoenix Media Forge Studio is my SoundCloud profile, and I have everything you want to know about my music is at mjk mjk.asia, mjk.asia. But I'm very, very, very close to releasing my new single, and my daughter's singing on the background vocals. I did it's funny in the studio, I did a test set of background vocals, and I decided to change them a little bit, and so I haven't done that yet. I was going to do it this weekend, but my wife wants to go to Kaohsiung. So tomorrow we're going to Kaohsiung, which is South Taiwan, which is the other thing I want to tell you guys. So over the weekend, I'm going to be in South Taiwan. So I may have some interesting things to stream. I'm going to go back to that club, Oxford. Actually, I talked to the boss lady today. They've already, as soon as they hear I'm coming to town, they invite me to come there and play. I'm going to bring my Red Special, the Queen guitar, and I also have the Brian May Special amp. I'm going to bring that down there and see if I can find some place to jam. But who knows? Who knows what will happen? But I'll keep you guys posted. I'll keep you guys in mind. I'm going to be coming back on Sunday, so I won't be live streaming down there on Sunday. But at the very least, if I don't go anywhere, I'll probably just go to the usual place, you know, down by the river. And I'll give you guys some kind of a live stream from Kaohsiung, which is cool because we love it down there. So thank you so much for watching The Real Taiwan. I appreciate your support. You guys take care. I'm going to take off and head back to the house. I'm going to put my little, compression belt on my back. I got a really nice one made in Taiwan. It's got bamboo charcoal. So thank you, Matthew. By the way, before we go, how is the bakery? How's the bakery going? How's everything going? Are you guys making money? Because, man, I hope you do. It's a little premature, but I might have an opportunity to go back to the States for a couple weeks to do some production work on a record. So depending on where I'm at, who knows what might happen. But hey, yeah, I'd like to know if everything's going okay. Been very busy. Well, that's good. Usually that means you're making money, so I hope you are. Fantastic. Well, give Grayson a hug and a kiss for Uncle MJ. I'd love to see him. I'd love to bounce him on my knee. That would be so cool. So Dean and J-Boy and whomever else might be watching, I appreciate you joining. Thanks so much, and hope you don't mind the mood lighting. And sometimes when I'm talking, it kind of gets in the way, but so. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, the leaves changing. That can make a big difference, especially like in New England. If you're in an area, though, where people go to look at the foliage, you got it made. And being in an historical area, that's got to be good for business. Fantastic. All right, you guys take care. It's Thursday night. I'm leaving for Kaohsiung tomorrow. Picking Phoenix up from school, going down there. I probably won't be on tomorrow night. I'll be beat. Sometime Saturday. Okay, I'll be coming home Sunday. Who knows what will happen on Sunday, but I'll see you guys as soon as I can see you next time. You guys take care, and we'll see you. Thank you for watching, and we're going to say Zai Chen and Wan An from Taiwan. Have a good night. All right, man. Roscoe Village. I will look it up. Thank you. Take care. Fist bump. Bye-bye. Fantastic. Now I can turn this silly red light off.